Hello, love. So excited to be back with you. Here we are in the final month of 2023. Oh, what a year it has been, right? I tell you, this year for me has been full of all of it. As if I look back at all the years, I have had amazing, wonderful things, and I've also had hardships and, struggles and challenges and failures and all the things. And, as we are in this last month, I always like to look back at, what have my successes been? Where have I grown? How am I different from a year ago? Every year, I just kind of go into that next version of myself as I get coached, with my coach, as I do my own work, as I heal certain parts of me. I don't know. I'm so proud of myself. And I hope that you can feel proud of yourself too and find where you have really gone and stepped into that next version of yourself. Today's podcast is about this negotiation with food. And I think food noise and negotiation with food, we can have thoughts that we're not successful, that we're failing. And I know that you may have some of this still. And as you're learning, as you're going through this process, maybe you're in Transform Boss and you're like, oh, I just want to lose it. And today, what I want to talk about is how to really start to heal that noise. And I would say quiet it. I believe that old automatic thoughts will be there and all of us are different. So as we heal our relationship with food, heal the relationship with ourselves, as we lose the mental weight and release the physical weight, I think it's just this process. And for me, I think for the rest of my life, I'll be on this journey of healing and believing new things and releasing more and more of the mental weight. And so maybe I want to ask you a question, actually. Have you ever felt like the food noise in your head, right? I want this. I need to have this. Just this constant, I have the urge to eat this. I want to. And then right, is so overwhelming and you just want it to stop. And maybe you tell yourself, you start out the day and you're like, I'm going to do everything right today, right? You're just like, come on, today's the day. I'm going to do everything right today. And you start out and halfway through the day, someone comes up with donuts or you start feeling like, you start thinking these thoughts and then you start feeling this urge to just eat something that maybe you didn't want to eat and maybe eating more than what you wanted, or you start to eat and you kind of, you're just like, oh, I can't stop. I just need to eat more and more and more. Or maybe just eat off plan. Maybe you've done this cycle like me, right? I had done this cycle for so long that I just got to the point where I was just so sick of it. I just wanted the food noise to quiet. I didn't want to have this feeling of being hungry or this urge to eat or thinking about food. And really what happened was it was this constant negotiation in my own head. Has that ever happened? The negotiation in your head where you're like, should I eat this? Should I eat that? Oh, I should be good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, but I want that. Oh, but this time I'll just eat it now and then I'll be better tomorrow. And it's this constant, it almost feels like you're at war with your own self. And it's just this thing that is just, for many of you, you do it so much that you're not even totally conscious of it. It's this negotiation with yourself, this constant record of noise. And negotiation is a way that we sell ourselves on something that our best self doesn't want. So I would say mostly, it does happen, but mostly when we're in negotiations, it's not for the better choice. We're in a negotiation for the worst choice. So let me give you an example of that. So you have decided that for lunch, you're going to have, some fuel food. And you're like, I really want to eat a tuna sandwich and I'm going to have some chips and I feel really good about it. And that's what I'm going to eat. And then lunch comes and then suddenly you're just like, oh my gosh, I have that leftover pizza. And then, oh my gosh, I have that candy in the cabinet. And then suddenly you're just like in this negotiation, like, should I eat what I planned or this other stuff sounds really good? And it's just this back and forth of should I not, da, da, da. And then this negotiation, we start giving the excuses, the reasons why to eat the things that we didn't intend to eat. So we start telling ourselves we'll be better tomorrow. It's okay this one time. You need to eat it. It's going to go bad. Da, 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 da. This is it. You're new year, you're all in, right? You start this just telling yourself and giving yourself a way out to go against the things that you want. Going back to our brain and the science of us being a human, there is a primitive part of ourselves that just wants us to be the same, wants us to be comfortable, wants us to take the easy path. This is how we're wired. We are wired for this. We don't want to feel negative emotion. If we start hearing the food noise, we want to just stuff it down, right? We just push that emotion down. We get a little dopamine hit with whatever the food is. And so this is just, it's a cycle, really. And I lived this cycle for most of my life. And so I understand it from a really primitive place in my own body, as I'm sure most of you who are listening can relate. It is this cycle of I'm all in, I'm all out. Sometimes I'm in the middle, but then something happens. It's holiday time or I'm feeling a lot of negative emotion. I'm feeling sadness. So I go against what I want for my best self. And, I think it's just part of diet culture. We were told to only eat fuel food and exercise, every day. And we've been given these extreme measures. And what's happened is it just keeps us suffering, but suffering in a way that is not for our best selves. We have associated food and comfort. And so we make food mean more than what it is. We think it's going to solve the problem of discomfort. Again, this is subconscious. You're not thinking this consciously. Your subconscious is like, oh, I want to feel better. That Kit Kat's going to make me feel better in the moment. I'm going to get a dopamine hit from it. And so we've associated food and comfort and, even smells, visuals, a commercial. Habit eating is what I like to call it. I think I teach it in another episode. For sure, if you're a Transform Boss, I have a course on it. But different triggers can happen, right? So it can be every night I need to eat a certain thing, or on the weekends I need to celebrate, because I've been good, I deserve it. You could drive by the Krispy Kreme and just like, I gotta stop, the red light's on, right? And so all of these is what I like to call, this food noise. And it's this back and forth negotiation. Should I stop? Should I stop at the drive-thru? Should I not? Ooh, I already have dinner planned, but I can just stop and get a little cheeseburger and fry, and no one in my family will know. I know I'm speaking from experience, right? And so all of this is just this noise that's just in the back of our head. And a lot of it's not conscious. A lot of it is automatic. It's in our subconscious. I think it comes from this disordered way that we have been taught to eat through diet culture, this binge and restrict cycle, this I'm going to overeat and eat all the things, or I'm going to restrict. Even if maybe you don't restrict, you think you should restrict. You think you should eat better. You think you should eat more healthy. You think, oh, if I just ate like, so-and-so, oh, who's, I don't know, you look up some celebrity, what is she eating? I want to look like her, right? Or what's the new diet? What's the new fad, right? It's just this, I think I should do something different than just, eating what I normally eat and paying attention to my hunger and fullness. So here's my take on it. Number one, is just this awareness that you are negotiating with yourself. And so this awareness that you're having some of this food noise, awareness that you are telling yourself that you're going to do better, that you need to restrict, that you need to do something different, but in a negative way, right? I should is, anytime I say I should, SHOULD something, I know, ooh, that's not maybe coming from my best self. And so really this process of one, becoming aware of it. And then the next part of number one is just asking and starting to get curious about like, why am I negotiating right now? Why do I have this food noise? Is it emotions? Is it the time of day? Is it, I smelt donuts and now I, need it? Did I see a commercial? Did I see something on a reel or Instagram, or did a memory come and, or am I feeling sad? Right? Just number one is this all about why. getting curious, and the awareness. And then number two, I think as you go through this journey and you're, with me and you're following with me, or you're in Transform Boss, is starting to challenge diet culture and becoming aware of the things that you're consuming through social media, TV, through family, friends, right? Just what you're consuming. And when, someone's like, oh my gosh, I'm trying the new thing, just be aware of what that triggers in you, because it might trigger, oh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not good enough. This is not working, right? And then you feel this immediacy of like, oh, I need to change. I need to do something different, but not in a positive way, in a very scarce way. It doesn't come from abundance, or it doesn't come from, I'm in this, I'm going to spend this time working on the mental weight so that I could release the physical weight. It comes from, I need to get it off now, and what I'm doing is not right. And number three, listen to podcast episode 106 and 207. This is all about a tool that I have called the Realistic Plan. Healing your relationship with food through abundance and not restriction, meeting yourself where you're at, starting to use your prefrontal cortex, your thinking brain, rather than your automatic and primitive brain. It's going to help you lose weight with allowance and not restriction. I work with so many ladies and clients and myself, and I tell you, this binge restrict cycle, this I should be doing something different. I need something. I need to get it off. This immediacy, this scarcity. This is what's keeping you with weight that you don't want on your body. And it is the mental weight that is weighing you down. And so if you're ready to lose weight for the last time, you want to continue, you want to make it easier on yourself, you want to feel better, then one, follow this podcast. Hit the little plus sign, follow me. Every Wednesday, I release a new episode. Number two, get on my email list. Every Wednesday, I send a beautiful email and also announce the podcast that's been released. So get on my email list. You can go to beeflycoaching.com/email. And then number three, when you're ready to go deep, like heal your relationship with food and release the weight. Like release it through your work on the mental weight. Then go to jointransformboss.com and come join us. Ooh, ladies, I know. Here we go. 2024. Oh, my ladies, I cannot wait. I love you, and bye for now.